This episode, we have the moon, and we have some zombies, and we have a throwback.
Yes.
It's an excellent little film.
Yes.
it's a throwback. It's a tribute to the 50s schlock sci-fi. 100% hits it head on.
Oh, absolutely. It ticked all the boxes for those old movies.
Yep. And our special guest,
Lily.
host, yeah, our daughter returns
Yes.
to help talk about this wonderful, so bad it's good on purpose tribute.
Yeah. Turns out we didn't scare her away the first time.
No.
She asked to come back, so we had to find a movie that we could watch with her, and this one, it does it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we've done that she's getting into the horror.
She is.
I mean, but some of the other stuff, like Guns Akimbo,
Well,
that'll be coming, or that will have come.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll already have
that's
happened.
before this one.
Losing track of time.
Are you okay? It's 2020, man.
I know, still.
Seriously, I know. We're coming up on month 700 of 2020.
Yep. But we do have some good stuff coming.
We sure
We've got
do.
we've got a interview coming up, and working on some more stuff.
Absolutely. And we're still working on our short film.
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum. It's coming.
It's coming along.
It is.
It's coming along. We're going to get it.
Yeah.
We're going to get it.
We've got 2 full locations knocked out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But now we have
The big one.
34
Shots.
to do.
Yeah,
Look at
it doesn't sound like a lot, but for a short, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, should we get into this? Some great lessons, great little history revival.
Absolutely.
Schlockdom.
It's a love letter
It
to
is.
schlock movies.
It is. We've said it in the podcast, and we'll just say it here at the beginning. It has to be a love letter because you cannot do this kind of thing unless you intimately know
And love.
these
Yeah.
schlock sci-fi. And yeah, because I mean, these people, I wonder if their parents were involved in schlock movies back then.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, maybe we'll reach out and find out.
All right.
But for right now,
Let's roll into it.
all right, you ready?
I am.
Let's go. Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Jim.
And this is Danny.
I am Lily.
And as you can tell by our exuberantly excited child, our daughter Lily is joining us again
Yeah.
for this wonderful, wonderful review of this very fun throwback film.
Oh, yeah. I gotta love these schlock movies.
That's exactly what it is. Looking at some of the stuff, it actually was like broken up on a TV show, schlock horror, schlocky
sure.
horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I can see how that could happen because, yeah.
Oh, man. The schlocky horror picture show.
Yeah. So just a little warning here. So not going to be, anything but blunt about this, but we have new neighbors and they're just fucking retarded.
They're fucking loud.
No concept
Day and night.
of how to live in a fucking apartment. So you may hear some shit in the background. You may not. Depends on how much effort and time I put into mixing all that out. But just a little PSA, people. If you live in an apartment, grow the fuck up and show some consideration and realize you can't fucking be loud. And if you're a loud person, you know what? Fucking just stop.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Okay? there.
Oh, man.
I feel a little.
Yeah.
Hi, Jim. It's okay.
I mean, we have pretty good equipment, and so not a lot of it should get picked up, but if it does.
Well, I mean, it's there, and I could
We're
probably
sorry.
mix some of it out, but, Jesus Christ. I hate it. It's like the changing of the guard. I hate the changing of the neighbors, because our last neighbor was really cool.
Oh, yeah, she was
Right?
amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and she was always asking, am I too loud? I'm like, oh, no.
Never hear a thing.
Yeah.
Except the microwave beeping, which is directly on the other side of the wall
Yeah.
from our microwave.
Yeah, and they share an air vent, so there's no actual, or
Right.
an air duct, so there's no
Yeah.
actual buffering between those. So we always knew when one another was microwaving something, and how intensely by the number of beeps that you could hear.
Yeah.
And it
Anyway.
always smelled like good food whenever we walked into our apartment.
Oh yeah, the hallway was always smelling good.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's see.
That was my
Okay.
favorite part.
I don't think we have anything else to jump into except for this movie.
I don't think so.
All right. So, without further ado, why don't you tell us what
Yeah.
we're going to bring forth?
So, this week we watched Attack of the Moon Zombies. It was made in 2011. So a little, it's a little older than a lot of the stuff we've been covering recently.
Right.
But that's okay. It was directed by Christopher Mim. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Also written by Christopher Mim. Starring Michael Cook, Shannon McDonough, and Michael G. Kaiser. It was not rated because it was an indie film.
Right.
But I think it would be it would be PG.
It most definitely would. We'll cover some of the stuff, but yeah, it's a very 50s throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The budget was estimated to be $20,000 US dollars, and that was very loud.
Shish.
She's ham-fisted with her tea.
Yeah.
What? No.
So the log line for this is: a mysterious plant found on the surface of the moon wreaks havoc on the Jackson lunar base when its spores change the base's crew into leafy, undead creatures.
Yeah.
They're actually really ugly.
They are. They kind of have I don't know what you call it. It's not like they're so ugly they're cute, but they have a comical look to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ugly, but they look funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't have that beautiful, like, scary vibe to them, like newer movie zombies.
Well, they're not supposed to, because this is, like we said, it's a throwback. It's a schlock salute
Yes.
to old 50s sci-fi. And let's jump into this.
Yeah. Why don't
'Cause-
you start us out?
Because right away, we have old 50s music, a black and white still shot of the moon, and then the title, Attack of the Moon Zombies. The 50s music is the old typical orchestra number.
Yeah.
Right? So not synthesizer, not that dun, 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 ridiculously loud and bold music.
Yeah.
Lots of horns, and it's tragic sounding. All sci-fi films always had that tragic, just like, nothing good's going to happen. Come on. And it was a staple for these films. So then the narration comes on, and it's talking about the moon and its role in humanity throughout history, complete with a fuzzy image of the moon and a stock star field in the background,
Yep.
meaning just a bunch of random white lights.
Yeah. And even that intro is it's very typical of that genre.
Yeah,
That
it's
Yeah.
schlocky-
the schlocky stuff, the titles coming at the screen big, and then just, just names popping up, nothing fancy, and just kind of weird and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't like this new layout. I'm just going to say that. I'm going back to my old next episode.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
agree.
back to the overhead where it comes down. 'Cause
But-
it's fucking elbows and
Yeah.
drive. We're 3 minutes in and I'm already done.
With the narration, you want to think like the intro to Plan 9 from Outer Space, but without the picture of him,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's that 50s science class film narrator,
Yeah.
right? It's always that, the moon, for throughout history, the moon has captured the imagination of humankind from every area of the globe.
You're fantastic.
I know I miss my calling.
I know.
So after we see the generic star field, he's going on about what if something could survive on the moon? Oh, wow. It's a good thing you asked, friend.
I'm glad you asked.
'Cause that's why we're here. And then we see a rocket heading towards the moon. It's super cheesy animation. Now, this is a little different. It wasn't the old, like a model rocket with a sparkler at the back, right? This is a cutout animation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's a real cheesy animation of it landing on the moon. And as it goes into its crater landing spot, we see the gantry from the rocket to a wall, which kind of looks like it has a door in it.
Maybe.
And we see somebody getting out of the rocket and kind of like being, conveyed towards the door heading into the base.
Mm-hmm. Apparently the movie is a day count. For example, it said day 1 in the opening. There's a woman starting to play music. I think her name's Dr. Hackett, I think. Otherwise known as Stephanie. She starts to play music on I'm trying to remember what they're called.
Oh my god. It's called a record player.
Yeah. I was thinking a cassette tape for some reason, but I knew that wasn't right.
Oh my gosh.
Then she gets a call from my whatever it's called, the administrator. She gets really nervous because the administrator doesn't talk for a while, and she gets nervous easily and is a bit more annoying than me and Mom sometimes.
Yeah. The administrator's like playing a joke on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's funny because in my notes, and the first time we saw it, right? Because we watched this a long, long time ago for fun.
Yeah, a few years ago.
And then we thought we would do a episode on it because it was fun. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. But both times I kept thinking that the administrator was actually like a HAL, kind of like a centralized computer voice. But no, it's
a person.
It's the administrator.
That's her title. And they just call her administrator.
I'm still trying to recover from our daughter not knowing what a fucking record player is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I just want to say they did really well with that because that was the old 50s, late 50s style box, pressed cardboard box that you latch shut, looked like a suitcase, and you opened it up and there was the turntable and the needle and it had a solo AM speaker underneath it.
It makes me feel so old.
I knew what it was. I've seen it before, like in real life.
Well, that's like saying, well, I know what a cartouche is. I've seen one before.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't remember what the name was.
I have a question for you, Lily. I know you guys won't be able to see this, but I'm going to describe what happens.
Okay.
Lily, I want you to mime holding a phone up to your ear. What? Just do it. Just pretend like you're holding a phone up to your ear.
What?
Do you see what she's doing? Turn and show Dad.
Okay, yeah. So, you want to explain it?
So, she's holding her hand with her fingers slightly crooked as though she's holding a smartphone.
Right. Not closed-fisted.
Or with the thumb and pinky out.
Yep. Hello.
It's just an indication of different generations.
2 nights ago, we were talking about something, and we had to explain to her what a cordless phone was.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It could only go like 7 feet or something.
Well, we were talking about
ones.
how ridiculous, they were. She's like, what are you talking about? What's that?
Yeah. Well, my favorite is watching in old shows when they have the corded phone attached to the wall, but they have that like 10-foot long coil cord.
The myth cord?
Yes.
For the longest time, when the phone company owned the phones, they never had a cord longer than 3 fucking feet.
Right.
But yet in Hollywood's like, well, you know what? Fuck them. Let's just make a 10-foot cord so our actors can move around. And the whole country, right, for decades was like,
where do I get this cord?
Can we have one of those? Because I'm tired of standing in the kitchen, man. I'd like to sit on the fucking couch.
Right?
But houses and apartments always had a phone jack in the fucking kitchen. Never in the living room for the longest time.
So, anyway.
How about we hop back in this movie? Take us away, my
Back
dear.
to the movie. Ooh, so we see 3 guys in an elevator, it looks like. And one seems like a jaded redneck. One seems sort of normal, and the other one's really quiet.
Yep.
And the redneck, who's apparently the pilot, is going on a tangent about piloting. And he's very, like, good old boy style talking. The administrator over the loudspeaker asked the pilot if he brought the vodka for someone. And the pilot was, like, scoffing a bit, calling it a pinko commie drink.
Yeah. He calls himself a Kentucky bourbon man.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. Then he tells the other guys that, one of them has never been deconned. And he's like, it's the decon process. And he says, well, make sure you don't close your eyes. And he's telling this
wide
quiet
open.
guy, keep them wide open. It's really important because otherwise the germs that are on your eyeballs will get into the station. And the normal guy next to him is kind of like laughing. He's in on the joke. And it's even if someone were doing this to me, it would be painfully obvious that they were fucking with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's very clear that he's fucking with them. And the decon is just a really bright light.
Yeah.
To like UV kill all the germs or something. And then the new guy has his eyes wide open the whole time. And and they laugh about his gullibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as they emerge, the captain, this is the good old boy, right? His name is Captain Ace Frehley.
I love it.
I loved it.
I thought it was like something else.
No, they just call him Ace.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He starts doing some really smarmy 50s style smooth talking to Dr. Hackett, who's waiting at the door for someone. The new guy is Philip, but he's the one who doesn't talk, and he's the one who just got temporarily blinded.
No, Philip is the other guy.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Glenn is the other guy.
Glenn, yeah.
The new guy. So Philip is the new guy to the station.
Yeah.
This particular station, but he's done all this other stuff before. Okay. So he's talking with Dr. Hackett, and there's some innuendo and some really uncomfortable stares. And then you get that, they were a couple.
Right.
And then she's been here and now he's coming.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think she is correct though. The Captain, Ace, the pilot, Phil calls him Herman. And he gets really upset about that.
Because that's his real name.
Yeah.
But he's introduced as Captain Ace Frehley.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what she meant.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and apparently Ace didn't want that. I think he kept on saying, all right, enough with Christian things.
Well, it only comes up once in some sort of
Once or
argument.
twice,
The guy's like, pervert,
Yeah.
pervert, Harold, whatever.
So
I think it was Herman.
Hagrid.
now we're with the administrator, who's a person. We find out for sure.
Yes.
And
He is a
she's dressing down these 2 guys for not getting her PA system running again. And I'm thinking, oh, that's weird because she was literally just using it like several times.
Right.
But I guess she can call individual rooms, but not address the whole base at once.
Right.
And so they leave and she gets a call on this like duct taped triangle set piece that's supposed to be a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in any future, a triangle always makes a better fucking screen than a square or a rectangle.
Yeah.
Or even a circle.
Right?
Yeah.
So, hey,
Super true.
little love to the triangle in this film.
Oh, man. And it's a call from Earth. It's, I think, her husband, maybe. They talk like they're very familiar with one another.
Yeah.
And someone on Earth that she knows has had a baby. And, she's like, oh, she couldn't wait 2 weeks for my leave.
Her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he signs off. All right, over and out, Grandma.
Yeah.
Whatever. So then there's a knock at her door. It's Ace and the silent guy, who we also know as Glenn. But,
Poor Glenn.
yeah. And then the captain leaves. So, silent guy, his last name is Hayes. So Glenn Hayes. But I'm going to continue to call him silent guy because it's all he does is nod. Right. And I wanted to make a note on her desk. It was great. Is one of those old fashioned, super large glass ashtrays.
Yes.
The kind that are like an inch and a half thick.
Of glass.
Yeah.
And the size of a dinner plate. Right.
Yep.
And with all of that girth and mammothness, you could flick butts and ashes out of there like it was fucking nobody's business. They were so shallow, but they weighed like 8 pounds. It's like, well, that's not going to move, but the concussive force will knock all the shit out of it. That's what I grew up with, like 20 of those around the house. So,
oh yeah.
she goes on about his file and how it says his hobby is cribbage. So she pulls out a cribbage board and says that they can play later. So then it's later and they're in the mess hall and playing cribbage. Silent guy won. So the administrator wants to have another go. And now we're at a table with 3 guys talking about how there are less women on the base than they would like. And, I'm thinking, well, this is very 50s.
Yeah.
It's not direct, but the phrase, the vocabulary that they use in these bits came right out of 50s scripts.
Yep.
Oh my God. So cheesy as shit. And as the conversation continues, it's highly reminiscent of, old, fashioned sexist talk in old films, not just sci-fi, but all around, I mean, these are the kind of guys throwing the words like dame, and by that dame, boy, I bet she would,
I think
make a man a happy husband.
one of my favorite lines from this little bit is the administrator asks them, like, so you're asking me to requisition you some girlfriends?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the particularly thirsty one is like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure his name was Tony.
But I didn't, they seemed like super ancillary characters.
Yeah.
So I didn't even, you might be right.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're the ones, they're here to be killed. So I don't need to know anything about them.
Duh. Oh yeah, I need to mention that every chair is a lawn chair.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Now, to be fair, we should have probably opened with this, but this is a movie that's an homage to, as if it were being made in the 50s, because the base that they're on was established in 1976 and it's a brand new base.
Yeah.
So this is taking place in 1976 as if this were filmed in the 50s, like so many sci-fi movies, the year is 1975 and rocket cars are the thing, it's just like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's clever on a lot of different levels.
Well, it really is.
The amount of homage in here.
But the lawn chairs, man.
I know.
And if I remember right, this was filmed in the guy's basement.
No, that's a whole different movie.
It's a different movie.
That's Space Trucker Bruce.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
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 So
Whatever.
now we meet an old guy sleeping, and it's worth noting that this old guy sleeping is in the only chair on the base that is not a lawn chair.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to spoil it because that's your part.
It's a wooden rocking chair.
It's really nice too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's not even like that old, but they kind of treat him like he's 90.
Yeah.
So Dr. Hackett and Phil, or otherwise known as Dr. Collins, we learn, they come in, and the old guy is Dr. Edwards, and he asks Dr. Hackett to make him some tea. And they do steal a lot of lines and quotes from like Star Trek and other space movies and shows. But he says, Earl Grey, hot. Ha, ha,
Oh, my God.
Are you all right?
Yes.
So then we get a lot of exposition now. Edwards is like a dad to her. They give him a bottle of whiskey, and it's called Old Man Yates whiskey. And if you pay attention to this movie, a lot of the little things that they have branded are branded as like little quips and stuff like that, little homages to things. And the tone of the dialogue in it is just totally on point. It's cheesy and weird and awkward. And it makes me think of when we were talking to Tucky, and she was like, do you know how hard it was to write that terrible
bad dialogue?
It was so hard.
and I get it. You know, because I mean, you're a writer. You're writing a movie. You're writing a TV show or something. I mean, this is when you jump out and you're like, look what I can do. Look at this clever conversation. But when you're making something where it's supposed to be just so spine crunchingly bad, I mean, how could you look at that and go, I'm satisfied.
I'm good with that.
It even made me kind of scared.
It's cringy, isn't it?
I've cringed at a lot of things. This was the most cringiest thing ever.
So, let's see. So they decide to go down to the commissary and eat. And then when they get down there, Hayes, the silent guy, the administrator, and Ace, the pilot, are all in there. So Edward walks in and meets the new guy who's replacing his position because Edwards is retiring.
Yeah.
And Edwards knew his father, apparently. And they all joke about how it's a small world. And the pilot eyes up the whiskey that Edwards brought in, and he decides to share the bottle with everyone. And the pilot's super crass about it. He drinks it before they can make a toast. And then Edwards offers to take Hayes in the rover for a tour of the grounds to look at a new rock.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, you come in and I'll show you around the first day because Edwards is leaving on the next rocket out, which is a week out. Day two. Phil and Dr. Hackett are sitting in the mess hall. Sexist scientist guy is in there as well, trolling over a woman who comes in and just shuts him down super quick. I call him Dr. Thirsty in my notes.
Dr. Thirsty. Sexist scientist guy / Dr. Thirsty.
I didn't even put him in my notes.
Well, good thing. So it seems Dr. Hackett is hungover. Phil has a ring in his hand. He's proposing.
Oh my gosh.
And just as she's about to say yes, a large fellow with a very poor Scottish accent comes in. And Hackett is needed somewhere. And I'm thinking maybe he's Russian? He's supposed to be Russian because I see the flag.
Yeah.
Right? So he sounds like a Russian, Scottish, South African, North Carolina jumbled accent. It's so horrible.
Well, it says a lot about how bad the accent is that you thought it was Scottish. Initially,
right.
And it was supposed to be Russian.
Well, I thought, oh, Jesus, that's the worst Scottish accent I've ever heard because it was like twinges of it. I'm like, oh, he's supposed to be Scotty. That's their Star Trek pull in. No, I was just way wrong. This guy's just some sort of mishmash of nasty accents.
And the proposal thing made me cringe. Oh, so sad.
So Hackett runs off. Philip is still holding on to the ring because she never actually answered.
Mm-hmm.
And sexist science guy /
Tony.
Thirsty.
See, look, it's in your notes.
You did write it down.
Yeah, Tony. But we're not going to call him that. Said, well, only because she called him that directly. That's the first time it was mentioned. Says he should have waited until, or he says that Phil should have waited until dinner anyway. Who proposes over lunch?
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's fair. Who proposes over lunch? Dr. Hackett gets called into the administrator's office. When she sees Gramps, aka Dr. Edwards, I actually wrote down Gramps in all of my notes. Glenn and a plant that kind of looks like a pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies. How they look. But it's only the shooter part. But it's I don't...
Looks like a flower pot, kind of.
Yeah.
sprouting out of it.
Yeah. And Glenn starts taking like a closer look at it, and before you know it, it sprouts like a vine looking thing. It looks like a vine, like flower before it's budding.
Like a vine.
Like a vine, whatever. and after a while, it shoots spores and kills Glenn. Why did I write that? It shoots spores in his face and kills him. Dr. Hackett, and after that, the administrator tells Dr. Hackett and Gramps not to tell anybody about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So then we're in the medical doctor's office. And I say medical doctor because everybody on this fucking base has a PhD.
Yeah.
Apparently.
They're all doctors, not just scientists, right? Because some of the world's greatest scientists do not hold a PhD in the relative field. But everybody here is a doctor. And it's like doctor. Go ask the doctor. Find the doctor. Well, the doctor said that the doctor was, okay. Oh, fuck. So the medical doctor, the person responsible for keeping them
healthy,
alive. Yeah. In her office, Silent Guy's there dead and not coming back. And I put that in there because this point was made.
They pointed it out.
Yes. Several times.
Yep.
Within just a few lines.
Right.
Like someone opened with it, talked for a little bit and closed with it. And then the response opened with it, reiterated it.
Yeah.
Sometimes shared it over the shoulder. He's not coming back. It was ridiculous.
It's like, he's for sure dead. For sure.
And,
not going to come back anytime soon.
And true to form. Okay. So in the old sci-fi movies, the instant appearance of a diatribe of complete irrelevance. It was like watching Friday the 13th back then. It's like, instead of, waiting for the killer to pop up, you're just watching them exchange, and you're like, anytime there's a pause, is this it? Is this it? And then ultimately, the payoff. Someone starts talking and rambling about shit that has nothing to do with anything. Because at this point, I kind of spaced out over Ripley and her long ass rambling diatribe of how long it takes rockets to get back and forth to work. And then some other thing. I don't even know, because I'm like, I can't do this again.
If we didn't mention, I'm pretty sure Ripley is the administrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is the administrator.
What she does explain in that diatribe.
Do we need to?
Well,
It's relevant if you listen.
It really.
It's
Try it.
mild.
Okay, try it.
Okay. So
I yield the floor.
rockets go there every week. So there's a
Yes.
weekly rocket.
Yes.
But if she messages the headquarters, they can have a rocket there tomorrow to bring the body back to Earth, a special rocket.
That's not what I got out of it. She was talking about how it takes this long to get there and this long to get back. And it would, this, and then we're talking this and that. And we're way beyond when I was listening. I'm like, well, yeah, okay. Why did you piece that all together? You're way outside of your scope of time here.
Anywho.
It seemed like it would take forever.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Hackett is asking if she can tell her fiance about this, since it's supposed to be kept secret. And this is another thing I thought was brilliant. Ripley, the administrator, says yes, Hackett can tell Phil, but only if she, Ripley, tells him.
What?
I
Right.
love it.
This was one of those points where I had to think hard. Was this stupidly idiotic line on purpose? Or did it just come out this way?
Was it or was it? That is the question.
It's still the question.
Chris Mim, you can come on our show and tell us.
Yes.
Please
Because,
do.
kudos either way, because it fit.
Right?
Hackett and the old fellow leave, Gramps.
Yes.
Edwards, pseudo-British guy.
Cramps.
So now the medical doctor is talking about how long it's going to take to do the autopsy. And it seems an inordinately long period of time, particularly for the future. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the way she had it almost like weeks out. If things didn't fall into place perfectly, this could be, forever.
Yeah.
I've seen you. You're standing in your lab doing nothing. You clearly have nothing else going on. Grab a scalpel and carve that bad boy up.
Well, this is also very typical of these kinds of movies because there was a lot of that in these old schlock films where they would go out of their way to explain a timeline of events that are going to happen in the movie.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, and there's more coming. I've got.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, now that we're that we go from the doctor and her Rubik's Cube style rationalization of when to begin an autopsy, we're to Ripley's office. Phil, Dr. Hackett, and Gramps are in there, and Phil is recaptioning the situation as he tries to understand it. Very slowly, very. Like, it reminded me of Russell.
Yeah.
So that's bad. How many times? Listen to what I'm saying.
Oh, Russell, sweet but simple.
I know, but only, Phil's surrounded by people who have been drilling this into him, but he's not connecting.
Well, yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
Nothing.
Well, and that's another thing that these movies, they would show you the situation and then, they would tell you the situation in the timeline and then show you the situation and then tell you the situation again in these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything he's saying, we're like, yeah, we just saw all of that. Like, you don't need to, okay, it's fine. We'll just sit here and wait for the movie to.
It is. I mean, it fits in, but this is why almost all of the old sci-fi movies are in the B movie category.
Oh, yeah.
And criticized, ridiculed, rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the same formula. And this is that formula. So, yeah, no argument there.
Yeah. So instead of recaptioning again what they're talking about, I just wrote down some thoughts about this scene.
Yeah.
The administrator's desk is literally made of taped together cardboard boxes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just point of fact here.
Well,
yeah.
I think we botched out some of the notes. I think we need to say that most of this base is covered in egg cartons.
Yes.
Randomly placed. And not like actual egg cartons, but the cardboard, like formed cardboard packaging, like you get your speakers, right? It's sandwiched between two pieces of formed cardboard. There's a lot of that all over in random spots here.
Hey, don't forget the elevator where Phil, Redneck.
That's what I'm
and
talking about. That's
Glenn
part
is.
of the base, yeah.
I know, but don't worry. That's cup holders, guys, not egg cartons. That's a one up from egg
Cup
cartons.
holders?
They were.
No.
They're larger than egg carton.
I just said they weren't egg cartons. They're pressed cardboard. They have round things in them because something in it came in it round.
Yeah.
Maybe like a soup bowl set.
Potentially.
Yeah, they're not cup holders.
Don't steal my thunder, Jim.
Anyway. So yeah, they do mention in that conversation that it sounds like the plot of some bad drive-in movie.
Yes, they do.
Also, I just wanted to take a moment and point out that the administrator's bangs look like a rolling pin just sitting on top of her forehead.
Yes.
And they start like way back towards the back of the head, like the crown of your head. That's where they start. And the hair is all pulled forward and curled as though it's a rolling pin going across the top of her face.
Circa 1948 to 1954.
It's wild.
Yes. So after everybody starts to get on the same page, Ripley kicks them out so she can make a call to Earth. When they leave, she starts to break down. She has her this is so hard moment. She pulls herself together and she makes the call. In the hallway, Hackett and Phil and Gramps are trying to sort out the situation. So now we have the cerebral approach. Now that we have universal cognitive understanding between everybody on the same synaptic level, now they're starting to think the problem through. So
Right.
Ripley gave us the emotional bit of, oh, this is hard. And there, let's get this going. Again, the formula. So apparently the plant was preserved on the moon, and when it was brought into the base with oxygen in it and the warm temperature, it sprang to life and killed Silent Guy.
Yes.
Poor Glenn. Poor Glenn. So I called her the nurse when Jim calls her the medical doctor. I'm just going to call her the nurse now. Is going to do an autopsy on Glenn. Then she remembers that she had to call the administrator before she did, but I wrote down that she remembered. She actually went back and forth whether she should do the autopsy first or whether she should call the administrator first. Like 10 minutes of that.
That was a painfully long bit.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I didn't want to relive the memory, okay? Once she is done, she turns around and sees what was once Glenn, but he's a moon zombie. A
Yeah.
really ugly person.
Do you want to describe the moon zombie?
Thank you. Okay. I wrote it down in my notes. I can't remember where it was. Okay, found it. By the way, a moon zombie got which, by the way, a moon zombie is a really ugly plant-looking thing with bug eyes, a humanoid, but really ugly. Its face is like vines, but it's not vines. They're really huge. It hurts.
They're goofy looking.
They're not really bug eyes. They're
They're
kind of bug eyes, but like big,
Googly.
well, but flat googly eyes.
Right.
Yeah. They'd look cooler.
I just took it out of there, Mitch.
Oh, thank you.
So I do want to say that the doctor's autopsy tools need to be mentioned.
They absolutely
They're
do
great.
because we all got them down.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do get a nice clear shot of her arranging them nicely on the tray. And they're not autopsy tools.
Not even close.
Don't worry. They're not.
There's like some crafting scissors, some spackle spatulas, some foam paintbrushes, maybe a chisel.
Right.
They were wild. You have to love that they didn't really try with the autopsy tools.
No, I'm not going to give them points for trying.
No.
Just silverware from the drawer would have worked better.
Yeah.
A steak knife, a fork, and a spoon. Yeah.
That was funny.
It was funny.
It was cute too.
So-
I liked it.
So, old fellow, Dr. Edwards or Gramps, is woken by Ripley visiting him. And she's banging on the door. Right?
Urgently.
And they come in and then they start getting into this small talk. And this is something that happens in every single old sci-fi film. And Ed Wood was a master of this.
Oh my gosh.
He would throw in things that had nothing to do with anything, like it was a bodily function. But all old sci-fi B movies had this where they talk, and it's not, you don't learn anything about the characters. It doesn't do anything to bring the situation to hand. They just gab,
I know.
right? And then at some point, we finally get to the crux of it. She's upset because no one has ever died under her command. And I thought, well, that makes sense. You're a scientist. So, it's, not a lot of, it's not like it's combat. And she's angry about it. And then Gramps is saying, don't blame the plant. It's just trying to survive. And then they get into more useless, unrelated chatter until, Ripley leaves.
FYI, I'm pretty sure plants don't try to survive by killing people and turning them into really ugly plant zombies.
Don't tell that to M. Night Shyamalan.
Right?
He will refute that. He made a movie where the plants overnight decided we're done with humans, and all plants across the world were emanating some mysterious gas that made people run themselves over with lawnmowers.
That's great.
No, it's terrible. I didn't see it, but I just went with the 700-800 million people who were like, holy fuck, this was terrible.
I saw it.
Did you?
It was terrible.
Oh, baby. I believe
There were
you.
so many plot holes too. I mean, even I won't get into it.
All right, girl, take us to day 3.
Yeah. Day 3. The door to the cafeteria opens and closes a couple times. And before that, the Tony guy, sexist doctor, whatever his name is, don't care.
Dr. Thirsty.
Dr. Thirsty.
Yeah. is trying to get one of the scientists, woman, who we had this huge argument about it when we were taking notes. Hydrox cookies, not Oreo cookies. Hydrox cookies.
That's incredibly important. I'm tired of Hydrox getting called Oreos. I'm tired of Oreo getting the credit for a delicious cookie that has its place in cinema, and particularly B-style throwback sci-fi films. Oreo didn't earn its place. Oreo shouldn't get a credit. Fuck Oreo. They were Hydrox. No mistaking.
Don't hate on Oreo.
I'm not hating on Oreo, but they're Oreo cookies are the J.J. Abrams of cookies. They're overly hyped. They get way too much credit. And the true meat of the industry is Hydrox. You know, and these are the cookies and the directors who make these beautiful things, don't get all this fanfare, but actually know what the fuck they're doing. Like Hilton and like Lowell, you know, and, like David, you know, these guys, cause I tell you what, David's films,
Hydrox all the way.
He is the Hydrox director all the way. And I tell you what, any of JJ's films, right? Oreo. Yeah. Nothing but marketing, Jack. Mm-mm.
Hot take.
Hydrox has the passion.
Hot
the
take.
packaging. Hot take.
I love it.
We didn't have to rerun the argument.
You
here.
brought it up.
Yes, and it's a trigger for me.
That's going to be in the like marketing for this episode is how do you compare indie movies to chocolate cream cookies? Go on, child.
The good ones are Hydrox.
Shut it, James. Don't steal my spotlight. This is my turn.
Well, get talking.
Shush. Anyway, Dr. Thirsty is trying to smooth talk this woman. Yes, Mom is catching on.
Yes.
He's trying to smooth talk this woman who's eating Hydrox cookies.
Yep.
And she's reading a book. She just walks out, and he takes a Hydrox cookie. Poor Hydrox. And after she leaves, like a minute later, the door to the cafeteria opens and closes a couple times. And he thinks someone is coming in, but there isn't. Until one of the moon zombies, probably Glenn, poor Glenn, poor Glenn, he didn't deserve that. Like, put the moon zombie's hands on his shoulders, and he thought that Dr. Thirsty, yes, that it was the woman coming back. But when he turns around, the moon zombie shoots spores in his face.
Yep, and he's down.
Yeah.
And then
the woman, poor woman, all she wants is just to read. Woman walking down gets trapped between two space zombies. And then it cuts to a guy, probably another doctor, because everybody has a PhD here, in his room sleeping. And then he wakes up from hearing a scream, and it's probably this woman. He walks to the door, and then they cut to the outside. He walks to the door, and the door opens, and a moon zombie is standing right there, right in front of him. And then they cut to the outside, where the moon zombie is standing, and the moon zombie walks in, the door closes, and we hear a scream.
Yep. So we have moon zombies 1, 2, 3, now 4.
Yep. They're building up. And then there's another random guy who's sleeping in a lawn chair. And he gets caught sleeping by the terrible fake Russian dude.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
And apparently this random guy's job is literally guarding 3 big switches on the wall labeled A, B, and C.
Pull lever switches.
Pull levers.
I when I read my own notes, I'm like, I needed to make sure, I should have written pull lever because the switch could be anything, but yep.
What is he guarding them from? We'll never know.
Well, so somebody like Ripley can't run in there feeling all needy and lonely. I need attention. And then just grab one of those 3-foot long things and just like trip the switch. Because apparently their survival hinges on these 3 switches.
Yeah.
Well, from context, in more of the movie, apparently those switches are supposed to like control like
the cosmic shield.
Shield.
Or the cosmic radiation shield.
The cosmic radiation shield.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to control that in all the centers, A, B, and C, because don't worry guys, there's only 3 centers in this whole space thing.
But it's a ridiculous notion.
So the Russian guy, and he's not doing a very good job of guarding them apparently. So the Russian guy tells him to go. And then he just stands there staring at the switches for a minute.
Like, is there any skullduggery going on here?
Right?
Are you actually A, B, and C? Are you where you're supposed to be?
Right. Are you going to turn yourself off?
Yeah. I think he was resisting the urge to pull out his notes. You know, because every good engineer has their little pad of notes and stuff.
Yeah, that's
true.
He
looked like he was really trying to ace this for himself. This was his self-exam. I'm going to remember what these things are.
I will tell you, you don't want me guarding switches like that.
No.
So
you don't want me guarding switches like that. It's like, don't press the button. I immediately press the button.
Oh, we know.
I don't care if the earth gets blown up. I press the button.
So a moon zombie comes up behind him because he didn't bother closing the door behind him.
Nope.
And spritzes him with the spores.
Yep.
And then he falls down and he hits 2 of the switches as he falls down. A and B.
Yep.
Then we cut to Dr. Hackett in bed and we hear the emergency alarm sounds going off. And then there's a knock at the door and it's Phil.
You sound weirdly sarcastic about all of this. This is actually what happens in the movie.
I'm trying really hard.
Go on.
I'm trying hard. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. It's Phil.
Phil. Okay.
And so he's explaining what's going on to Dr. Hackett. Dr. Hackett is going to get dressed in her uniform. After all this happens, Phil turns around and I didn't write this in my notes.
That's okay. Just go on.
He tries to propose to her again, but Mr. Interrupter, Peter, the fake Russian guy, called Mr. Interrupter.
You know, we have to have her watch all the movies with us so she can catch everyone's names. She's way better at it than we are.
I am.
Yep.
Peter tells him to come out, and they talk about how to get out. Like how to get out of the station. And I even said this while watching the movie. I couldn't remember her name at the time, but Dr. Hackett has the accent of Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. Like Stephanie, Dr. Hackett, whatever you want to call her. She reminds me so much of Dorothy. It's the accent, the tone.
The transatlantic accent, darling.
Then we got to Dr. Hackett in bed, and we hear the emergency alarms going off. Then there's a knock at our door, and it's Phil. I'm trying really hard not to sound sarcastic. It's just my voice, the voice that sounds really sarcastic, okay? I promise I'm trying not to sound sarcastic. Later, Peter, aka Interrupter, aka very fake Russian accent guy, tells them to come out of Dr. Hackett's living quarters, and they're trying to talk about how to not, I'm not going to say escape, how to get out of the space station. And it might be just me. I know Mom mentioned it before, but Dr. Hackett reminds me of Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. I even said this while watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
As what's her name?
As what's her name? Yeah. That's originally what I wrote in my notes. I'm not lying. And it's just like the accent, the tone, and even what she does. Like it's all the original like horror sci-fi film things. There's the run, the scream.
Oh yeah, all of that physical stuff is in here.
Yeah.
And you've got a good bit on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the screams. They're not Wilhelm screams. No, these are, when it was pure sci-fi. Okay, scream. Pretty much like that, yeah.
Yeah.
A little louder and extended sometimes, but varieties. So,
Variety.
Anyway, we're back in the hallway, and Aussie Wannabe, and I call this guy Aussie Wannabe. This is the guy that the Scottish, Russian, South African, North Carolinian accent guy sent away for sleeping. Yeah. I'll get into the Aussie Wannabe in a minute. So anyway, he's explaining that the door to the master control room is jammed. So they can't switch on the cosmic radiation shield. Hackett is suddenly concerned about Dr. Edwards, Gramps, because he's an old man. Aussie Wannabe tells her he checked in on him, but he was not in his quarters. And then she's going on about it, but Philip gets her to get moving down the hall. So now Philip is explaining about the blast doors being shut per protocol to keep unaffected portions of the station safe. So for some reason, he needs to stand by this particular door.
Yes.
Right? While everybody runs off. He explained it. And I'm not going to type, I wrote, I'm not going to type it out because it was just bullshit. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. So Hackett and Aussie Wannabe head to Gramps' lab. When they leave, Philip hears a scream. He looks down the hallways. Another scientist stumbles into view. He dies and falls to the floor. And I just wrote, the dialogue is just so bad.
It's so bad.
And I just want to mention, we call him Gramps because, I mean, they call him an old man. But he's like what, 60, 70?
Well, that's old enough to be a grandparent, but he also is the only one in the station who dresses in an old man's sweater.
Yeah.
With his poorly attached, Union Jack patch on his sleeve.
Yeah.
To let us know that he is in fact English and not just talking like he's from Harvard and wants to present himself well, because there's nothing about his speech that would make you accidentally think he was British.
Yeah. But
much less on purpose.
He looks like 60-ish. But they treat him like he's 104.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's getting around. You know what I'm saying? He's doing the stuff. It's not like he's on his fucking hover chair. Or any other scooter. He's moving. He's not inferred because of his age. But anyway, yeah, they treat him like he's just helpless.
I just wanted to mention that because...
Well, yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they'd have cast this with like people all 25, they'd have hired a 30-year-old and be like, "Oh, we better go check on him."
I think there's even a moment where Dr. Hackett's like, "He's an old man."
Yeah, well, several times.
Yeah.
She reminds us that he's old in case we didn't believe it when we saw him. Oh man. Okay, so bam. A moon zombie appears. They look so wonderfully terrible. it like Lily described it, it's pure 50s sci-fi monster. Philip goes back through the blast door and closes it and then stands there, right? So apparently it was closed to be this way, but then it could open so he could go out and get in trouble because he goes over and he's like, oh, and goes back and it's closed again. So, and then now that it's shut, and it's supposed to stay shut, right?
Uh-huh.
Rather than just, so he's standing there looking at the moon zombie through the window, and rather than just leave, since he doesn't have to be there any longer, now that, you know, the door is closed and the fucking guy is dead. He's talking to the moon zombie, and it's funny, he doesn't catch it, but I immediately saw it. It's like, the more you speak to it, the more agitated it's getting. That's not the position to be in when you're locked in a base with moon zombies. My thought would be, well, if he's not liking me talking to him and explaining all of this ridiculous stuff, maybe I'll shut up. But anyway, this is what got me about this scene. He explains how the 6-inch thick, super strong space age steel door is nearly indestructible, can withstand a nuclear detonation and all this stuff. And while all this is going on, the fucking thing is wobbling like a slinky because it's cardboard and tape.
Yes.
And as the moon zombie's banging on it, I'm like, I wonder how many times that moon zombie knocked it in accidentally and they had to reshoot.
Yeah. Oh man. Meanwhile, you call him Aussie, the fake Aussie guy.
Aussie wannabe.
Random.
Yeah, random.
Or Rando.
I'm pretty sure his name is Peter.
No, that's the Russian guy. Fake Russian guy.
Yeah, Peter was
No,
with...
this was the guy that
This
he
is a
chased
different
out.
guy.
This is a different guy.
Yeah.
Oh!
So, fake Aussie guy and Hackett find a body in the hallway. And the Aussie guy approaches and gets sprayed in the face. Right?
It flips it over.
Yeah, flips it over, gets sprayed in the... Neither of them noticed that apparently this body laying in the hallway had a gigantic, bulbous, planty head.
Nope.
Which is something you would have seen from the back.
I would.
Yeah. And Hackett screams the...
That's
And-
piercing.
Sorry. It was supposed to be.
It hurt
And-
my ears.
And runs away. And it's that classic, she's got her like hand up to her mouth.
Yeah, fingers bent in.
Yeah.
Not like, you know, Home Alone. Fingers bent in, like she's
Yeah.
going to bite her nails.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And runs away. But it's great. It's that classic scream, right? And then Phil hears and runs to her. And they run to the geology lab, and no one's answering the door.
Right.
And it's at the end of a hallway, and one of the zombies comes by and is standing at the end of the hallway. And Phil is like, well, it's not going to attack us. Maybe they're smart because it knows it's outnumbered and we can fight it off. And then some more show up. And then Phil is like, oh, this situation is urgent. So he decides to pound on the door of the lab very gently.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like a... And after he had told Hackett that, you know, her pounding on the door was useless, no one's going to hear you through it.
Right.
And no answer. And so they think they're going to die. They go through this proposal shtick again, where he proposes to her and
Yes.
she's about to answer. And this is the third time that it's happened in this movie.
Well, let's, excuse me. I want to clarify. She is not about to answer. All right. She launches into another fucking diatribe. Instead of saying, yes, my love, I will be your wife. Right? She starts blathering and going on. And I thought, holy Christ. So, yeah, I just want to make that clear. She took for fucking ever. And the result was,
They get interrupted again.
ta-da.
And may I say, like Jim said when Phil was explaining that the door was like 6 inches thick and it wasn't going to be broken down by like a rocket launcher. No. This door that they're at, this one's even flimsier.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, you had to allocate the tape to where it was important.
This is a $20,000 movie, folks. So, they're interrupted again by the door opening. And Gramps is in there along with another random guy and the administrator. And I got to say, if this is supposed to be the geology lab, rocks and stuff. And I love me a good geology lab made almost entirely of styrofoam.
Yep. And my thought was, oh, there's styrofoam on the wall in this room. Step up from the egg carton cardboard. Holy shit.
I know, right?
So Gramps clearly is the best funded scientist.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gets styrofoam, man. There's a lot more expositional chatter in here. We get another quip to cheesy horror movies in the plot. Hackett is thinking out loud about the human body being scaffolding for the plant spores to build upon.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now, for those of you familiar with B, sci-fi, 50s stuff, this is where we get the rationalization and I call it the scientification of, because it's not scientific, far from it. But this is where they try to sound smart.
Yep.
And it's painfully clear in those old films. And mind you, we're ripping on this as if it were a 50s film. But I mean, they did a brilliant job, and we're going to talk about that.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why we're doing the episode. It was wonderful. Mm-hmm. But back then, you could tell not one fucking person graduated, or had anything higher than 8th grade science. Like, where, well, let's put, baking soda and dishwasher in a tube and see what happens. Well, nothing. Okay. Well, there we go. Woo! So they're trying to just like throw shit out. It's almost like, Shonda Rhimes writing a script, medical. I don't know what it's called. And if she didn't have the money to hire people to fill in those things, that's what they would be saying on TV. Well, the medical aspect of the medical procedures is medically unsound and medically speaking. So
medical,
you just said
medical.
Yep, you just said a bunch of shit. So anyway, this is going on. And now there's brain tapping brought up by Edwards and or Gramps, some silly stuff. Gramps thinks they can communicate with the moon zombies. Again, formula.
I'm going to quote Charles from Red Dead Redemption 2. They keep on talking, but they're not actually saying anything.
That is correct. So Elias has tapped into the cameras on base. Now, mind you, Elias
is random.
Yeah. Aussie wannabe.
Oh, right. No, wait.
Rando. Yeah, no, he's not random.
He's not the Austin.
No, he goes away. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, this is a different guy. This is like Ed Gramps' hitherto unknown.
Assistant of some kind.
Yeah. So anyway, he's tapped into the cameras because, all this other bullshit's going on. What else is this guy going to do? They're going to scan for survivors. Ripley says it's going to take a while. Didn't seem too long. Just click. Oh, there's the camera. There they are. It's determined that the 5 of them are all that are left on the base.
Alive.
Anyway, Gramps has a plan.
Oh yeah, there is 5 of them. Okay. Gramps is going to sacrifice himself. Dr. Hackett goes into full panic mode, saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that. There has to be another way." And the administrator is kind of doing the same, but more chill. And then once they realize there's not really any other way to do this, the administrator finally gives up and agrees with him. Now, this is my favorite part. Dr. Hackett tells the administrator, "Shut your trap, woman."
Just kind of out of the blue.
A little bit.
Yeah. And so Gramps knows about Phil trying to propose to Dr. Hackett so many times. And Gramps is saying the last words, whatever that he'll say to everybody in that room.
His farewells.
His farewells. And I actually wrote this. Gramps probably scared the bejesus out of Phil by threatening to come back and haunt Phil if he doesn't take care of Dr. Hackett.
So the substitute father figure.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we've talked about there being a plan in this movie.
Yep.
But no actual plan has been laid out.
Nope. I want to call it the Dutch approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a plan, Arthur.
You just gotta have faith.
If you don't know, Dutch is from Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redemption 1.
Thank you.
Go to hell, Dutch.
Anyway. So I have started to wonder if they made these uniforms because they're like, they look like Star Trek uniforms, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
Kind of.
Except it doesn't have the colors.
Well, it's a black and white movie.
Yeah. I was wondering if they made them in various shades of gray, knowing they were going to monochrome this movie, because they didn't shoot it in black and white. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
They might have.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Unless they shot it in black and white film, there is no such thing as shooting black and white. It's just literally they could have just flipped a switch in their editing software or on the camera and it's color because it's just grayscale.
Yeah.
There's no true black and white and it's easily to...
Well, it's really easy to tell the difference.
Yeah.
But also, I also wanted to note here that Phil has the worst hair of anyone I've ever seen in my life. It looks like someone just brutally murdered a spaghetti monster on top of his head. Like his hair is maybe 2 inches long, and he just doused it with gel and then shook his head around.
Yeah. It's the hero's hair.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
You can always spot these guys in the old movies, though, because he's the one with the super brill creamed weird thing going on. And everyone else has like straight hair, bowl cut hair, you know.
Right.
Rolling pin bangs.
Or to save money and time, they just fucking shaved everybody else. Right? We need hero and we need 2 guys with different hairstyles. And the rest of you all get buzz cuts.
That's a good observation.
Action. So we're in another scene that is sometime later. I guess Ripley is going to do whatever it is that Gramps was going to do, but as we are as of yet uninformed as to the nature of the thing that needs doing. The acting is so very bad. That was my thought, because I wasn't going to figure out what is she doing? Did we miss something? No, we didn't, because we've seen it twice. And I just, I have to ask, is the acting on purpose? Because let's be honest, not everybody who acts in the most heartfelt film, most, biggest passion project can act. We have some examples of that. You're looking at Tommy. And Tommy wasn't a B movie either. Tommy spent millions on that.
He meant every bit of that.
I know.
He did.
I know you guys can't see it, but in the last podcast I did, when the camera's on me, you guys can see a picture of Tommy Wiseau looking over my shoulder.
Well, Tommy's looking at both of. He's looking at all of us.
Yeah. Mommy's always watching us.
Mom even announced that in the last podcast that I did.
He's staring directly into my soul.
Yeah.
and when we were mentioning what we just mentioned, Mom just eyed up Tommy.
Well, he's an example of a great many things. Yep. He's a wonderful guy.
Yes.
He's great. But
I love him.
So you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
So back to the movie. Gramps is giving a tearful goodbye and leaving the lab. Still don't know what this... plan
right?
is.
Yep. But we're in it.
Yeah. And we've had, this movie is like a couple hours long, and about half of that time is exposition. None of that exposition is spent explaining this plan.
Nope.
So, Ripley, the administrator, apparently has a role in the plan. Her part is luring the zombies out of the way of the path that Gramps is going to take.
And
Yeah.
so apparently she's going through like a ventilation system.
Yeah, she's going through the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy who's removing the vent like takes it off really easily. It's kind of ridiculous. He looks like Hulk when he's doing this.
So, Gramps is going to go into the radiation. And we need to start the clock here because thank goodness we had that exposition way earlier
Mhm.
to know that he has 20 minutes before dying an agonizing death of radiation poisoning.
Cosmic radiation exposure, poisoning.
Not
however
just
they
any radiation.
Right.
Is it the real thing?
So the extent of this radiation effect on film is just someone cranking up the exposure in post.
Yep.
Woof.
Yeah.
But it's still very true to the genre. I
Well, that's
mean, I
what
hate
they
to
did
sound
is
like
they-
we're ripping on this movie, but
Well, no, it's the elements that they're presenting, and that's what they did is they just shot the scene and they in film development
overexposed.
they just overexposed that whole reel. So on the monitor we see Ripley attracting the moon zombies, and it's a distraction, I guess, because Gramps is doing his thing, and the thing is when he goes into the zone saturated by cosmic radiation, he starts to recite Psalm 23, and he does so poorly. And this is something I've always resented long before I became a priest. If you're going to recite anything from anywhere, right, give it the respect that it deserves.
Yeah.
And more importantly, how about pick something that's relevant to the situation, right? So Psalm 23, I get that, right? However, he does such a shit job of it. It's ridiculous. And it's complete with the cheesy music, the warbling emotional kind where, they've got the trumpets with the, kind of thing. Only they've got like 100 horn instruments with the warblers on them. And then he's flashing back to things we never saw.
I know he never saw it.
He's flashing
He
back
wasn't
to
there.
He's flashing back to things that the first proposal.
In the lunchroom.
This dude has been napping chronically in his quarters, right? In between all the things that have happened, except for this one last bit where he was, for some reason so entrenched in what he's doing in his styrofoam filled geology lab that he couldn't answer the door. Being knocked on so urgently. But, so yeah, anyway, it was way too long of a scene. Way too long. They killed all the emotional that it could have had by dragging it on, especially by playing, a minute and a half of the movie that he had nothing to do with.
Well, there was this flashback where he was talking with Ripley.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that just happened. If my life was flashing before my eyes, the last 10 minutes would be hardly the thing I'd focus on, particularly if it was talking with roller bangs, But anyway, all of this is exactly spot on. It is a ton of 50s sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Being played back at us. So, I mean, in that aspect, it was brilliant, but, we still have to rip on it. So anyway, we're back in the room with Philip and gang, and Elias announces Edwards did it. Then we see Ripley on the camera, and she's slinking through the hallway. And then we cut to her in different hallways, because that's important.
Yes.
And then, eventually she runs into a moon zombie and is suddenly surrounded. So she's been in these empty fucking hallways. These things move at an octogenarian's pace with a walker through the grocery store, right?
They're so slow.
I mean, you could lay down and roll across the floor and you could outrun them triple speed. Okay. But anyway, somehow she's fucking surrounded. And she tries to fight them. We see this through the monitor. And then alas, it's all for naught. She slinks down in the corner and they converge on her. And then Hackett says they're all going to die. Phillips is chiding her for her negative attitude. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of see the point. I'm one of those people in this situation. Be like, well, let's get the answer to this problem and fucking get through it, right? Don't dwell on all this nasty shit. But on the other hand, I also kind of see, well, given that I'm surrounded by all of you and people like her, and this has happened to like everybody, I can see your negativity because we are kind of fucked. Because you're all so stupid. That's ridiculous.
Phil's just trying not to have someone being a Debbie Downer here.
No, Phil is just trying to fit the role of his hair.
The hero hair.
The hero hair.
Of the dead spaghetti monster.
So all of this, though, prompts more exposition on how Gramps should still be alive to do his thing. And this is where... What are you guys talking about, man?
Yeah, they've still not explained the plan.
Right?
I'm pretty sure the plan was...
Because all of that shit we talked about was still getting there.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty sure, like, the original plan was supposed to be Gramps to sacrifice himself because he's the oldest. 60.
Well, that's probably it.
And
yeah, but that's not a plan. That's an effect of the plan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not arguing with what you're saying. You're looking at me like I'm chiding you. I'm saying that's not a plan.
No. Gramps is supposed to, like, sacrifice himself in the cosmic radiation to try to turn on one of the cosmic radiation shields or something. I think that was the original plan. But anyway, Gramps is at the control room and opens the door. He sees a moon zombie. It's in frozen animation.
Oh, it's just standing there.
It's just standing there.
Yeah.
And he sees the moon zombie and walks past undisturbed. He pushes the A lever up and leaves the B lever down, which I think was supposed to be up, though. Because it was up when we originally saw it.
This apparently is some sort of complicated plan of only this one, then this one, and that one, and this one. And I'm thinking, well, the control room is only in one of these fucking sections, right? A, B, or C. So I don't see the whole logic in playing with the levers, because if you close one down to go over here, then you have to come back and undo that one and do this one. That just seems like a lot of unnecessary movement. But anyway, we were never fully given the details. One thing that kind of bugged me about this is I know it's a throwback kind of thing and it's to have fun, but I hate when people do this because this has happened in a few movies that weren't, throwback films and stuff. But anyway, as he's dying, sliding along the wall, he steals William Shatner's line from Star Trek Generations as Kirk, where he just kind of looks off and he goes, "It was fun." Then he pauses a second, looks to the sky. Well, in his case, he just looks up and he goes, "Oh my." And that is how James T. Kirk died. Right. And I'm not saying it's like sacred and stuff, but I think anyone who does it I think it's not an homage. It has never played well.
It's a cheapening.
It cheapens it. But just more than anything, it just has never been done well.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
okay.
yeah. Well, I'm not like emotionally upset over it. It just bugs me. It's like that was unnecessary. It was just kind of dumb,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we're back in the lab and Phil's taking charge of the situation. He's going to be the hero. And then Hackett, unprompted, says, "Yes, I'll marry you." We don't get the proposal. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
I'm pretty sure.
It was a lot of, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Hackett tells Phil to ask her again.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, she goes, again, she takes so goddamn long I almost thought this wasn't going to get out. But remember, she's like, I don't want to sit here and die here and never having give you my answer. So again, ask me again, Phil. Ask me one more time to marry you so that I can give you my answer and we won't die never knowing and blah, 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 blah. And if I were Phil, I'd have walked out of the fucking room, got on my suit, and I'd have just left. But anyway.
Well, they discover that the hallway's clear so they can make a run for the spacesuits. This is all part of this plan that we know nothing about.
Yep.
Outside that blast door that Phil was at earlier, they have some zombies slowly bearing down on them on their side, right? The ones that were out in the hallway by the geology lab. And Phil could press the button to open the door to the other section, but he wants to wait like some kind of square to make absolutely sure that they're not going to get radiation poisoning. Meanwhile, these plant zombies or moon zombies, plant zombies, are just like very slowly bearing down on them, even slower than a Zamboni coming down the hallway. Finally, the door opens on its own. And they run and get to the spacesuit room.
So at the spacesuit room, Elias starts to laugh. He's happy to be alive, and we get more exposition on putting on suits and stuff. And none of it made any damn sense.
No.
It's like they're explaining their entire existence to a 4-year-old. They're using such basic terms, and they're doing such a poor job of it that, I don't even think a 4-year-old would be like, what are you saying, man? So anyway, Elias opens a locker. Guess what? Moon zombie.
In the locker.
Because I love, in all these old sci-fi and horror films, monsters and people who would hang out in the fucking locker for days, right? They've been waiting for this. This is what chapped my ass about Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, right? They're walking in the jungle and these guys are popping out of these like mud bubbles that have been hanging in the trees. Like, how long has that son of a bitch been in there? I mean, do they like replace them every 3 days, or am I supposed to get that this fucking guy has been in here for the last 200 years guarding this goddamn thing in a thing with no holes in it, right? Just whatever. Okay. But it's fun.
And I need to mention that the moon zombies, they're I'm trying to think of how to describe them. They have their hands out kind of like a T-Rex. I'm not going to lie. They have their hands out.
Yeah. They carry them, T-Rex style, arms, elbows bent, arms in with their wrists thing. And they've got the typical 50s style monster hands. They're like maybe 10, 11 inches long fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just all wobbly because they're just gloves hanging off.
Yep.
So yeah. And when they grab people, it's like, how could that even be tough? So,
it's not that they have short arms. It's just they hold them.
But anyway, like Phil thinks it's dead due to the radiation. So then everyone starts chit-chatting, right? Because, it's just moon zombie in a locker. And then Elias pokes it. Oh, there you go. Now it's a moon zombie. It just all of a sudden sprays spores at him. Oh, my God. Okay.
There you go, Elias.
If there were color in this movie, Elias' shirt for sure would have been red.
Yep, he was a red shirt.
Yep.
So Phil shoves the moon zombie in the locker and closes it. That is probably the most pure and accurate solution to any of the problems that they've had. Just shut his ass back in. Clearly he can't get out. Someone put him in there before.
He lives here now.
I think the other zombies are like, Ned, your turn to be in the locker. I don't want to be in the locker. Shut up, Ned. It's for a good reason, Ned.
Maybe the director got really sick of trying to do the 50s thing and just wanted to add something that was more new to it.
Oh, this is ages old.
Aw.
Ages old.
Aw.
So anyway, after he does the heroic thing and earns his hair, he tells Hackett to grab 2 suits. I wrote this down. She was pulling them out. These suits, people, let me tell you. if you take some bottled water jugs, some vacuum hose, some duct tape, some random things I'm not even sure. I don't know.
No.
Well, just the body of the suits is like if you've ever been in a dust room.
Well, yeah, they're just the thin paper stuff.
Yeah.
There's just sterile covers. So anyway, that's their spacesuits.
Yeah.
But what she does next is awesome.
Yeah. She grabs one suit, does the run. And I know I said this earlier in the podcast, but she does the run, guys. She does the run.
What's the run? You gotta tell us.
Like, it's like she's...
You can't do it without showing us.
No.
So what she's doing is, the hands in the air. So again, like T-Rex arms, but hands, palms up to the face. And they're just like, kind of bouncing. And she does, like she's walking in like 18-inch stilettos. The little tip, 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 right? The patented sexist woman movie run.
It's great.
It
really is great.
And then
she does the run into the airlock room, drops the suit, and we're like, weren't you supposed to grab two? No. She does. She runs back out, grabs another suit from the same locker, and does the run back into the airlock room.
Could have easily grabbed both of them.
Yeah.
These suits are made of gauze, as far as I can tell. They're not heavy.
No.
So, so they make it to the airlock. And I will say, it's a good thing it takes the zombie 10 minutes to walk 5 feet towards them.
Yes.
Because it took Phil a while to figure out how to close the airlock door.
Right?
And so they finally suit up and make it to the control room to shut down the radiation shields again to keep the aliens in suspended animation, because that's what's happening in the radiation, which they've finally figured out.
Right. Radiation keeps them immobile.
And I do think that their space helmets are made out of pie tins and cheese ball containers and vacuum hoses.
That's right. The pie containers.
It's like, okay, the cheese ball container is like the helmet part, pie tin is the top, and then the vacuum hose is just connected to their gauze suits.
Yep.
The best way to explain their suits. So the movie ends with Phil and Dr. Hackett in the control room, shutting the levers down, all of them. A, B, C. Well, B was already down. A and C, shutting them down. And Phil saying that it should keep them in the moon zombies in suspended animation until they come back. And Dr. Hackett is just looking at Gramps and babbling to herself and Phil, saying that Grandpa needs a proper grave on Earth.
And then it's over. Boom. Title screen, credits. And we're done. And that, folks, was Attack of the Moon Zombies.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this film. We've talked about quite a few things.
Yes.
But I just will reiterate, number one, this was an awesome watch, and you need to see it because it is fun, and it actually doesn't overemphasize a lot of the ridiculousness of the old 50s films. It hits it spot on. There's a few moments where they kind of take it to a new level, right? But this is everything that everyone was serious about making back in the 50s, complete with the constant sounds, this is outer space. And this has probably been in 1,000 films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just this obligatory sound. Usually when things are going in across the screen and stuff, it's just funny. But this was so well done and it was fun. And that's why we watched it again. And you got to see it. You got to see it.
It's clearly a labor of love. This was written and, filmed and made by people who loved those old 50s schlock movies.
Yes. You can't do this not knowing the material.
Right.
I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
So clearly, yeah, they were heavily into this.
Yeah. It's a labor of nerd love. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, sound. So while this was a throwback to the 50s, it didn't suffer
right.
from those old 50s sound issues. It was actually good, clear sound on everything. I think maybe there were some shots where there was some like echo. You could tell they were supposed to be in a small room, but in this particular one, they didn't have as much sound buffering, behind the camera. So it kind of weirdly, kind of like spatial echo kind of thing. But
a little bit.
I mean, passable, right?
Well, it's a lot better than a lot of movies with much higher budgets.
Yeah.
We've seen.
Honestly. So, they paid attention to their sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say with the lighting, there wasn't a lot of it didn't feel like there was a lot of subtle artistry to the lighting. It felt like it was pretty flat lighting the whole way through.
Yeah.
But to be fair, a lot of those 50s movies had pretty flat lighting the whole way through anyway.
Well, when you think about it, artistry and lighting in almost every genre had its place. But really until the 60s, people didn't start just like rolling with it.
Right.
Not to say there aren't some beautiful, especially foreign films. Foreign films in the 40s and 50s really lighting and the visual was the thing. Everything else was secondary, which is, by their plots and their dialogues and stuff. But there's some true masterpieces out there. This one, it's the same thing. It's just, it's a space station.
Yeah. How
How cool does it have to look? Right? That was their thought back then. But then you get Ridley Scott, who's like, well, we're going to be in space. We're going to be on a spaceship and it should be well lit because these people need to see where the hell they're going. But it is a horror movie with some scary ass thing chasing them. So we're going to put shadows and dark spots all over the place.
And I'm pretty sure.
And we figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty sure the name of the administrator was an homage to.
Well, Ripley, obviously.
We gotta show you the movie Alien, kid.
Oh, yeah, we do.
It's so cool.
We'll do the director's cut where there's 17 minutes of extra silent, suspenseful footage.
No.
So, it's the style that this movie is done in does make it kind of tough without talking to the director and talking to the people involved on how much of this was intentionally done, super cheesy and bad, and how much of it was just because, our actors didn't really have any acting experience and stuff, but that played really well. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to dive into those aspects. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we can dive into it by saying, even if that was the case, where this was accidental, right? It still fits for what they're trying to do because look at all those old sci-fi movies. How many of those names do you recognize?
Oh gosh, maybe 2.
Right? There's only, I can count on both hands over a 20-year period. There's only this many actors, male and female, who've made it through that sci-fi realm to become known. Out of the thousands.
Yeah.
Right? They were all one shot. None of these fucking people acted before. Right? They were just, because what was sci-fi back then? The face.
Uh-huh.
Right? Everyone had to have a particular look.
Oh, yeah.
We had Flash Gordon, we had Buck Rogers, the radio serials, and then the TV shorts or the film shorts, because there was no TV when they were doing those. And everyone was just all about, if he has a voice and we give him a look, right? He's got the chiseled jaw.
He's got a square face and a good voice. Put him in.
And that hair.
And the hair.
Right? We give him the hair so we can see he's the hero.
It has to be the spaghetti hair. It can't be any other hair.
Yep. And none of these guys had super chiseled 6-pack abs because that wasn't the thing back then, but they were all buff.
Right.
Right. So they all had their broad shoulders and they all had their manly look. I mean, think about people, when I say Leslie Nielsen, people think of, the Naked Gun series.
Yeah.
33 and a Third and all this stuff. Airplane, all of his comedy stuff. Leslie Nielsen was a balls-on, full stack actor. The man could act. And he stars in Forbidden Planet. And he is not some goofball. He doesn't pull comedy. He plays the hero. And he is buff, tall, broad-shouldered, square-jawed, and serious as shit, and Brill cream to the end of time. Not used to that being there. So anyway, by accident, they got those things. These people couldn't really act, but they had the luck.
Right. Either by accident or on purpose.
Right. So in this one,
Yes.
yeah, they achieved it.
So there are a lot of lessons, I think, to be learned from this movie. You know, whether that whole thing was accidental or on purpose, well, you know,
For the acting.
it worked.
Yeah.
Right. I would just give this a watch because our history of filmmaking goes back to these 50 schlock films. It goes back even earlier than that. But this was where it really started kind of like picking up for the industry.
Well, sci-fi was brand new in terms of this big. I mean, like I said, we had some other stuff, but that's when it exploded.
As goofy and campy as they were groundbreaking in their time.
Yeah.
So, I think with that, we can probably...
I think I want to just talk about the writing.
Okay.
Because we talked about this way back and we didn't cover it yet. So the sexism.
Oh, man.
Okay, so that was not accidental. That was obviously very deliberately written.
Yes.
And we're not going to chide, him for, because that's what the movie was.
Yeah.
It hit it spot on.
Absolutely. Dr. Thirsty.
It made a little bit more fun of it than the old movies because they weren't making fun of it. That's how they acted. So, that's a full-on pass. And it's appreciated that it was recognized and made fun of.
Yes.
Because that is, that's why we say, all films all the way back have things to teach, especially, and we haven't really talked about this aspect, gender roles in films. We've touched on things here and there. Sci-fi, there was very rarely a genius woman who actually did something.
Right.
Right. She was always the thing that got caught. And I say thing because it was a plot device. She wasn't really a character. She's the one who got caught, taken, had to be retrieved, always got into trouble. And,
it's like Mario getting Princess Peach.
Pretty much.
And it is touched on at the very beginning of this movie with Dr. Hackett and her conversation with the administrator over the intercom in her room right away, because the administrator addresses her as Stephanie, and she's corrected. She goes, actually, it's Dr. Stephanie Hackett. It sounds silly, but I did work really hard for my PhD, so I'd like to be addressed as doctor. Otherwise, why do I even have it?
And I like that.
I liked it too.
It was super subtle. I mean, it was point blank in what she said, but it was never made a big issue. It just moved on from it.
Well, that was the little joke the administrator played on her by going suddenly silent. And she was like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too much? It's fine. And then the administrator's like, no, it's just, I'm just messing with you, Dr. Hackett. It's fun. But so I actually... It was cheesy, but I liked that being put in there. Well,
yeah. That's what I'm saying is this was, but even with that, she still played with the run, the scream, and
the transatlantic accent.
Yeah. It was all very 50s.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I guess you can learn from that. If you're going to make a throwback film, then you have to embrace that ridiculous sexist stuff.
Yeah.
If you're not, don't get involved with it. Think outside of the box kind of thing.
Well, and you can do it. You make fun of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can do it in that respect, but it's things like this remind us of how movies were for people who haven't seen these old ones and how far we have come. We still have ways to go.
Yeah.
But, I think I love the administrator being named Ripley. Because in Aliens, Ripley was like the first sci-fi woman to just kick ass. She didn't take names or anything.
She's awesome.
Right? She went through some shit and she came out on top and bam, 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 bam. bam, movie after movie after movie. You know, they kept on to the Ripley thing because that's what sold Alien.
Yeah.
You know.
So our
yeah.
neighbors are getting particularly loud, so I think we're going to sign off for the night.
Yeah.
So go to our website. It's www.lordsofmisrollproductions.com.
Everything's on there. And well, probably when we do our cold open, I'll mention this. But if you listen to this and then sometimes you head over to YouTube and look for a video, we're not doing those anymore.
Right.
We're not YouTubers, and it was kind of a thing to put out there. But, you know, it's not worth it. So we're done. As of this episode, from this episode forward, there's no more videos because it's a time suck and it's not where our focus is. So,
right. It's a podcast, not a video podcast. So.
Yeah.
You can, if you like our show, give it a rate and a review on whatever platform that you listen to.
Yep.
Your reviews help other B-siders find us.
Yep, on searches and stuff. You know, the world is a complicated mess of algorithms that look for ratings, reviews.
It's a silly popularity contest.
Yeah, even subscriptions.
Yeah.
Weirdly. So you know,
yeah.
Do your thing. Check all of our links for the platforms, our Patreon, our social media. Reach out to us, you know. And if you're a filmmaker or an actor or a composer or anyone who has anything to do with film, indie or otherwise, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. Got something cooking?
Yes.
In a couple of weeks.
We do.
It's actually going to be a different, the first conversation of its kind.
Yes.
I'm going to be speaking with someone whose movie we haven't seen. We will not be able to see
for a while.
Well, yeah, for a long while. And we're actually going to talk about why that is. Mm-hmm. But we thought this would be a perfect example to talk about not only just filmmaking, but the post part of it. Once you have this thing in the can, sales deals, distribution deals, all the arrangements, how that thing works, and all the different things.
Well, goodness golly, you think making a movie is hard.
Right?
Wait till you're done filming.
You know, from talking with David and Liam and Lowell and everything. God damn, it's in Hilton even.
Yeah.
Making the movie's fucking easy. It's everything after, you know, dealing with the distributors and stuff. Holy
absolutely
shit.
True.
That's an undertaking. Anyway.
Yeah. So go watch Attack of the Moon Zombies. It is on Amazon Prime right now. Mm-hmm. It's probably on other places, but I'm not going to go and look for it. You could probably look for it, but.
Yep.
And until next week, I'm Danny.
I'm Jim.
I'm Lily.
And we'll talk to you later, folks.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye.